Hi everyone, today not me, I am recording. We're gonna harvest some spinach. So this is the Asian variety. I can't claim it to be like Vietnamese because a lot of the Asian country, they eat these type of spinach. So these are really good in soup, and basically you just eat them with some you cut the leaves and put it in a pot of boiling water, and then you just cook them with tofu and season it as you like. So I'm gonna let my mom do all the labor work. So these particular spinach, they like to climb. You can see that it's a vine, and if you give them a trellis or something, it will climb up just like that one over there. And you just eat, like, you can eat the shoot. If you cut it, cook it in a soup, this will grow back fairly quick. Um, these are quite young. As it, the ones that you see in the Asian grocery, they are a lot bigger. So and they're of that deeper green or even deeper. And sometime when you eat them, I think more particular if in Asian people that eats them and they've got that kind of like sour taste, it got to do with the soil nutrient. So the one that I'm growing, when I do eat them, I never get that sour taste, like hardly ever. Um, you can, I don't know, like I don't know enough about it to say what fertilizers people use, but of course the one in the at the shop, they use lots of fertilizers, so they are a lot more healthy. I'm just growing naturally. Just look at my sandy soil. Hardly anything in there. I'm not saying that as something I promote. Definitely, if you look after the soil, your produce is going to taste a lot better. Now, my mom is just cutting it like, like just without much care, really. You don't have to be particular. And they're just like mint. You cut them and they grow back again. So once they start to climb and you cut them, it's a bit tricky to try and remove the plant you're cutting off. And if you want to like clone it, I think it's easy as well. But these things you can just sprout them from seedling. It does go to flowers, and you can see here it's um, starting to like form a flowers, and then you just save the seed, and you can grow it next year.
Bây giờ mấy cái bông nó lên đây. Bị dí nhủi nhủi. Nhủi cho nó chết.
I mentioned in the previous video, you only need a small patch. So, I mean, you wouldn't want to be eating this every single day, although I can eat it every single day. I'm not a picky eater. Whatever works. I think it's a very refreshing soup. You can pretty much survive on this every day with a bit of rice. Gardening is the most relaxing therapy. Can be labor intensive, but very, very good for your mental health. It's probably cheaper than antidepressant. So I would encourage you to get back to nature and do some gardening. Just checking in over there. See what I mean? Like a whole bucket of spinach. And you can eat that for like at least 3 days in our family. Xong chưa mâm? My dad just admiring the yams. That is a climber as well. All right. I'll show you when I do a soup. Or actually you can eat it in noodle. You know, if you eat, you boil up some noodle, put it in, and towards the end, just chuck in like a handful of spinach. It just makes the whole noodle soup taste even better. So now we're in the yam area, and it looks like my parent has done interplanting. As you can see, amongst the yam there are the snake beans. So this is a very popular bean legume in the Asian culture, and this type of snake bean fetch like quite a bit of money. Not everybody like it in the family. Like my mom liked the other type of bean more than this one. I certainly like it, and they can grow to a meter or something. This is ready to harvest actually, and they come out in pair. This is more like the lighter green variety. You can get the darker green, as you can see.
Yeah, look at it.
My dad's proud.
Yeah, look at it. My God, look at it.
And you only need a handful, and you're done. Keeping life very simple meal, vegetarian if you can eat it. Not for everybody, but I think I would encourage you to have more vegetarian food than eating meat. Processed food is never really a good thing for you. Should always be restricted in moderation. Done, Mum? So maybe in a few more weeks' time we're gonna probably see a lot more. Beans are always a favorite of mine, the snake bean. I have a lot of memories with the snake bean because when we were a refugee in Indonesia, my dad used to grow snake bean out in the field, and Indonesian being a volcanic island, the soil was so good, and the earliest memories I had was them having like a veggie patch, and we had like jackfruit, bok choy, tropical passion fruit, the really big variety, the giant variety, the growing these beans, and it was like very long and big and so healthy. And that's how we survive over there. We did get some support from Red Cross, but we lived there for about like 4.5 years before we came to Australia. So beans, very good for you. That's all I can say, really. I was very young then, so I don't recall a lot, but there are certain memories that I do have. I think my dad just randomly like plant these, just throw them with the rest of the yams, and that's how it came about. And again, you don't have to grow a lot of snakes bean to for a family. Just like a roll, like we're only growing like sparingly. And growing legume is a very good idea because it amends the soil. It put nitrogen back into the soil. So definitely, once the soil is being used for one harvest, if you can put down some beans, and it's even better if you don't like say broad beans or something like that, and you just cut it down, then it will release the nitrogen back there. You don't have to put in nitrogen into your soil. Oh, look at this one. My dad just found a really long pear. Bà cắt luôn đi. Every now and then, I think my dad just like to show off and wear like this is typical Vietnamese attire for men who, back in well, you probably don't know, but I do. But if you're Vietnamese, you're watching. It's what older men wear. It's not PJs. That's all I can say. He's admiring his yam.
Very nice. Oh. Wow, beautiful. Right.
Well, the custard apple is really like coming back.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, look over here.
Look at that. Yeah. Oh.
Snake beans.
No. Chắc giá nhiều.
Take care, everyone. Grow some snake bean if you can. Now that we're home, we are preparing to make spinach soup. Asian spinach soup. So you can see here the vine is actually quite tough. If you bend it like that, you can't eat it. It's become very chewy. You can eat the top part, which is what my mum has done. I'll make a soup like that. We are processing the snake bean. So this is the white variety, and in here, sorry ma'am, is you can see that the beans is quite pink. With the black variety, with the green variety, it's a lot greener than this, more like a darker green. And the bean inside, the seed is kind of like more on the black side. So preference wise, I think people generally prefer this, the lighter green with the red beans. Otherwise, you know, it tastes similar, I think. I don't have a preference. I just like eating snake bean stir fry.
Hái vậy ăn ngon một ngày.
The other thing is it's very sweet once it's stir fry. We pick it from the garden and then we're just doing it straight away. That's the beauty of having your own garden. And that should be enough for one meal. More than enough.
Vậy là vừa ăn. Chứ để nó phì lên như trái đầu tiên rồi nó già.
If it's too big, then you won't be able to crack it in half like that. So it just means that it's a little bit on the mature side, and then you have to remove the string in between the beans.
Yeah.
So my mum has already started the process. What she put in there is leek, oil, and some mushroom seasoning. So just some of that. Bit of salt. We've got the soup on its way. And you put a bit of water in to soften the beans and close the lid. That is pretty much it. So the bean stir fry is ready, and then the soup is also ready. In a sense, my mum has already seasoned it. All she needs to do is just to pop the spinach in and we're ready to eat. Usually we would put tofu in here, but because we don't have it, yeah, so we do without. So you can either have fresh tofu or fried tofu. It's up to you. So this is pretty much ready for you to eat once you bring it to a boil.
Oh, goodness.
And that one's done. So being Asian, you always have rice ready. Ooh. Bit of rice, carbohydrate. And that's it. This is my dinner. And then I'll have some soup later on with the rice. Very basic.